said they could stay there, but all the rest of the places where Jews could not stay anymore. And then, if you continue, you can see, in fact, there is number 60 here on the left side. You can see the distribution of surnames. So from Ancona, from Senigallia, Pesaro, and Urbino, you have there is a number next to it. You have 18 surnames, which are deriving from places in the Marche region. 13 surnames, which are from places in the rest of the state of the church, but not from the region of Marche. 12 surnames, places, geographical places, but outside the state of the church. 11 surnames of Sephardic origin. 6 surnames of German origin. And I think there are a couple of them of French origin, but you cannot see them next one. Other examples, if we continue looking, Siena, the surnames of the Jews in Siena in 1841, Mondovì in 1858. These are just examples. Look at Venice. Venice, we have a list of surnames. This is just an example for the 19th century, but which are complete. Complete list of surnames, indicating the surname, the name of the father, the name of the son, and the date of circumcision. By the way, we have very interesting circumcision register from Ancona from the 18th century as well. So we have lots of, in Italy, we have lots of, it depends from which town you're interested in, we can find something usually, in one way or the other. I would like to finish with by the last slide. What do you see here in this last slide? You see some, how do you call it?
Coats of arms.
Coat of arms, coat of arms. So, quite uniquely in Europe, it was not only the nobility who had coat of arms, but also the Jewish families. Not all of them. The richest and the ones who were trading and so on. There is this book here. I have examples of this coat of arms, sometimes black and white, sometimes in color, and the Jews they start using this coat of arms mostly to identify themselves, and they start already in the very few of them from the 12th century onward. And then this gets extended in the Middle Age and in the 16th and 17th century. Always, I'm talking about those in North and Central Italy. So they use them in official documents, in trade documents, on their houses, on their graves, and so on. The church doesn't like it, so they try they try to force Jews to limit this use, but they survive. And in fact, I must say also that also rich elite merchant Christian families also had their coat of arms at the time. But it is, and of course, for each coat of arms, this book provides the explanation and why this is the case and so on. Very often you had, for instance, family of Sephardic Jews from Spain, they have the lion as the coat of arms, from Spanish king and so on. So, but this is explained. There is also about the Franchetti family. I put it for you. The explanation of the coat of arms and also stuff. It's a very interesting book because it provides information, not only the coat of arms, but also on the most eminent, let's say, person for every family. So, basically, this is what I wanted to say. I hope that I didn't bore you too much. Okay? I'm ready to answer to any question if you have some. Otherwise, it was a real pleasure to be here and to be able to meet you. Thank you.
Did the state
Kevin, Steve Nisley, ever like live in Northern Europe, say, right, it's 1814, you've all got to adopt a family name, officially, for taxation, army purposes. Did it ever happen anywhere in Italy?
It happened. The church, they wanted the Jews to have proper service because it was important for taxation, regional, and time. And I mentioned what happens at the time of the expulsion. You have these masses of Jews converging to the ghetto of Rome and Ancona, and they assume the surname of the place they were coming from. Now, I don't know if this was done voluntary, because if you're called X or X son of Y, okay, and then lots of people come and they have to concentrate in the ghetto, and maybe there were only 2 X son of Y, and all of a sudden there are 15 of them. So you have to distinguish themselves. You have to get recognized. So that's how the surnames are born, and that's when they start using them once for all. I'm not sure if if they were also pushed by the church or not.
Napoleon made everybody in Western Europe adopt a family name.
Yes. Yes. But at least, you know what? At least, my surname is Ascoli. So more or less I know where my ancestors were living in Ascoli. I know probably the name in which my surname was born, 1569, and I know why, because they had to move to Ancona and concentrate in the ghetto and so on. It is not always this case, because sometimes you had other people which they're not concentrated in the ghetto, but which took also the surname from the place they were coming from. So in my case, it's probably 1569 because it's Ancona. In other cases, it
The other
can.
one, sorry, Ottolenghi.
Yes.
We know it's German. Yet why do all those Ottolenghi I know think they're Sephardi?
Ottolenghi from the town of Ettlingen.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm just making a comment about Ottolenghi today. Think it's a Sephardi name.
It's a family name.
No, Sephardi.
Ah, Sephardi. Not at all.
I know.
No, but the problem is that there was intermarriage, okay? So Sephardi, they start marrying Ashkenazi, start marrying Italian Jews, and so on. So for instance, if I look at the in Ancona also you had the Italian synagogue, but you also had the Sephardi synagogue. They were, but they intermarried. And in Rome, for instance, I discovered and I was amazed to discover that the Ascoli family in Rome, they did not go to the Italian synagogue. No, they were going to the Castilian synagogue.
Siciliana.
Ah?
Scuola siciliana.
Scuola siciliana?
Era scuola siciliana di Ascoli. A Roma.
A Roma? Ma ho visto un elenco, I saw a list.
Because she's from, sorry, I opened a
Yes.
parenthesis. She's Ascoli from Rome, so she can answer.
Erano di scuola siciliana.
Sì, ma ho visto c'è un elenco di membri appartenenti alla scuola castigliana
Sì,
e c'erano membri della famiglia Ascoli.
sì, perché si sposavano 5 scuole: catalana,
Sì.
castigliana, siciliana, scuola nuova, scuola
Yeah.
tempio.
Yeah.
E stavano nello stesso cortile, nello stesso ballatoio. Quindi alla fine le donne lasciavano la scuola del padre per prendere quella del marito.
So the lady has just said that when they were intermarried, the women were leaving the synagogue of the father to go to the synagogue of the husband, and that's how you get.
She was
Please, yes.
also, sorry to interrupt, she was also saying that there were 5, in Rome, there were 5 different ones. So just to say how many schools there were at
Yeah.
the time. Just in Rome, there were 5 schools,
Yes.
like synagogue,
Yes.
like schools,
Schools,
yeah,
yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
I meant schools.
No, I like the Castilian part. Class.
Sorry, I just wanted to ask, how good are the records of synagogues, for instance, in Warrenau? Are the
Records of synagogue. So for instance,
are there, for instance, here in London, we have the records of Bevis Mark Synagogue. Is there anything equivalent in some of the cities in Italy?
but more than the synagogue, I think it was. I'm not familiar with the situation here, but in Italy it was very often the records of the rabbi of the synagogue.
Yeah.
So, for
yeah.
instance, he was keeping a record
Yeah.
of all
The
circumcisions
circumcisions,
or
yeah.
birth or
Yeah.
deaths.
Yeah.
So, for instance, in Ancona, we have the records of the rabbi,
Yeah.
which was writing down deaths, births,
Yeah.
circumcisions, and,
Yeah.
and so on.
So presumably in Livorno there might be the same.
Yeah, I have, this is just an example.
Yeah.
I have, you had the list of, again, those who had property,
Yeah.
the list of those who, the list of those who belong to these confraternita, these brotherhoods,
Yeah. Yeah.
the list of those who were because they were so they had legal, let's say legal autonomy,
Yeah.
and therefore they had some 24 people who were, let's say, at the head of the community. So you have all these lists at the head of the community, and you have different records. So you might there is a guy called Matteo Giunti who is a very specialist in Livorno. He has all the records of
Okay.
of
So
so on
they're
and
not
so on.
digitized yet. You can't search online.
Well, once I saw that they were being digitalized.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they finished or not, but when I tried to enter, I failed. So I don't know.
I
No.
found some, depending where.
Sorry?
I found some digitised last year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean I'm just interested. Some of the lists do highlight one or two family
Yeah,
names.
yes. We have different records for
Yeah.
which were drawn for different purposes
Yeah.
for different towns.
Yeah.
Please,
So
yeah.
were the Nazis quite successful in identifying Jewish families in the Second World War?
In Italy, well, in some cases, well, what? Okay. In some towns, yes. Other towns, not. I will explain you why.